Morning traders. So let's have a look at the Dow Jones this morning. So the weekly is really starting to look quite bullish. So we've been battling with the weekly Dickinson for so long that at this stage we are currently well above it. So I'm not really going to count my chickens before they hatch, because you can see what happened on this week. We were running beautifully until we turned and closed below it. So hopefully we can close this week with a nice solid engulfing green candle like this and close on its high, which will make it even more bullish. So for now, on the weekly, the only level that we have ahead of us right now is that level, and that is our weekly Kijinsen. And let's just make it red so we know it's a Kijinsen. And the other level that I have been watching, which I was expecting some profit taking, was this level here. And we kind of rallied through that with some strength, which is also a pretty good sign. Okay, so let's move on to the daily, see what we can see there. Okay, now we have to be careful because essentially we are in a range, okay? We're in a range and we're heading to the top of the range. Now, remember, I have a rule of 1, 2, 3, and it's quite simple. The first attempt at a previous swing high, I always look for a short scalp or I take profit. Okay, and we're heading here pretty quickly because I suspect that there will be a pullback before we move to the upside. Okay, now we've had 7 green days in a row, which is pretty much of a record, heading back into pretty much similar to what happened last year. You have these massive runs and then a slow pullback and then a run and a slow pullback. So there could be this could be the breakout that we've been looking for to continue this bull run. Okay, but it's not going to just go up in a straight line. I still suspect we will have a kind of a pullback somewhere along the line. And the warning bells that are ringing in my head is that you can see Kijinsen and Dickinson have come close together, but we haven't had a crossover yet. Okay, we do have a bullish sign here with Cisco span that's broken through price. It just needs to break through the cloud, but the cloud hasn't had a twist, so there's not much of a bullish sign. And also what we do have here is we have some diversions brewing. Okay, currently price is lower, and even if we get to a double top and we've got diversions and it turns, that diversions will be in play. So there are a couple of warning signs that we are coming to a turn. Not a turn to the downside, but just a retracement. Okay, and I also suspect that this move to the upside will continue. You can see how we've made higher lows. So there was a low. We basically made a higher low. We've made another higher low. And you can also see that this is turning out to be a flat top triangle of sorts. Okay, so I do suspect we're going to get some profit taking at the weekly Kijinsen, possibly even hitting 25,000 because it's a round number, before we pull back into the cloud and then break out. Okay, so kind of on the daily, let's just check these levels here. Okay, so that level is done. So what we do have here, we've got the weekly Kijinsen and we have that area there. Okay, so we've got this whole zone up here, and you can see we do have a pretty large tail to the upside there. And let's just add this other one in on the other tails, which is there. So we have a very, very strong zone of resistance just above us here. Okay, let's just get down to the 4 hour. So if you look to the left here, you can see, I'm just going to use a block, a bit easier for us to see. You can see how this range here formed a top, and you can see how we are in a similar spot at the moment. Okay, so there's a lot of resistance up to the upside here, and I do suspect we're going to continue this move today to the upside. I can't see us suddenly falling down at the moment. The bulls are convincingly in charge right now. Let's just double check this measured move to see that whether this has played out yet. Nope, we haven't played out. That's 25137. Okay, so that's I think let's just put a little line in there so we know that it's there. Okay, that's the target, and we can just take this noise off. And what that is this flag break that I pointed out 2 days ago. So it's move. I'm taking it from the bottom here to the top. So that's the one target. And then the other target would be from this swing low here. And the reason why I say this swing low is because you can see we moved up and we pulled back, quite a healthy pullback on this move. So if you take it from here to there, you'll see that the weekly Kijinsen is the target. There it is there. Let's just get rid of the noise. So okay, so we have two targets really. We've got the red line, and then we have these lines in between, and then we have another measured move up here. So those are the targets that we have for this move to continue. So what you're looking for is an entry to continue this move. The weekly support is this one here. So this level here, I would suspect we test that. And ideally, it would be nice for us to come back today and test that, and then consolidate for a move to the upside. But it doesn't necessarily have to happen that way. So looking at the hour, that's definitely an area that I'd be looking to get long. Let's just get rid of that. So I would definitely be looking at this kind of area for a long. I can't see us falling further than that. I see this, because of the level that this is, and we've had a daily close above it, I would suspect we just use that as support. So somewhere in this area is what I'm looking for, and 9, 10 o'clock. So the actual market close was there. So we're right on the close at the moment. So I really would, I'd like to see a little bit of a pullback. So I just see Europe pull back a little bit into this area, consolidate, and then we move up to hit the weekly Kijinsen. So my target area is going to be there. So we should close off on the Friday with another long, and hopefully from this area here, it's a 240 point trade. Stop loss, obviously your stop loss needs to be below the previous swing low. It's 160 point stop loss, so make sure that your risk profile can deal with that. So mine is a 3% of capital, so I'll make sure that the trades I put in don't exceed 3% of capital if it were to swing back down here and stop me out. But for now, I'm still bullish. I'm just looking for consolidation somewhere to get back in for another trade for the day. So far it's been a really good week on the Dow. Some nice moves and very well-defined technical structures that have played out. And I just want to, just before we close out, just get back onto the daily. And okay, we've closed above that flat cloud. So this weekly Kijinsen is definitely the area that we're looking for. Okay, I'm not so sure that we're going to get anything beyond that this week. And what you may also find is this level here. Let's just move to this side. Okay, so let's just delete that daily line and just tidy it up with a true reflection of what's going on. So we're looking at those tails there, and I can't go back further, but that is, so you can see how there is a next high. So if we do break above this level today, then we'll find some profit taking at the weekly Kijinsen, the red line. That's my trade for the day, and I think just one thing to bear in mind is I'm looking for a pullback to this area, but it's not to say that we're going to get it, okay? Because you can see how we are following Kijinsen, the blue line. So what I will do is just pay attention to this area as well. Okay. So ideally we would like a deep pullback to this area, but there's nothing really saying that we're going to get that. So it may only just come back here and then consolidate and move to the upside. But you'll quickly see that on the lower time frames. Specifically, if you're looking on a 15 minutes, you can see here. So this is where we had the news, and it left a massive gap up when we had the payroll data that came out. And you can see how we jumped up above here with an engulfing candle, and immediately you can see it was a breakout. You could have traded this breakout to the upside with a fairly low risk. So break above there, it's a 53-point risk to the upside. Okay. So just pay attention to it. And this is also another flag that's brewing. So let's just get this here. So there. So we closed off with a flag as well, and we kind of meander out around it. So, but what you normally expect is it to pull back into this area sometime during the day before moving to the upside. So just pay attention to that, and keep your stops below the previous swing low. So if we get here, then your stop is here. If we break that swing low, then this is the next area of support, and then your stop is down here. And you also need to take cognizance of this big gap here. I suspect that will get closed sometime during, if not this week, probably in the weeks to come. There will be a pullback to this level before another attempt to get higher. Okay guys, so that's the Dow. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later.